The member for Hindmarsh.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is again to the Prime Minister. I refer to his previous answer in which he said that his budget was based on assumptions, not policy settings. If the budget's assumptions aren't based on policy settings, what are they based on? And why can't the Prime Minister give a clear answer to the question, when will Australians be vaccinated?
The Prime Minister has the call.
Mr Speaker, I'll ask the Minister for Health to provide a further update to the figures that I've just mentioned to you about the progress of the vaccination program, but I know it is a mystery to those opposite about how budgets are put together and how they work, Mr Speaker. There are assumptions in the budget that Treasury pull together based on their assessment of the circumstances, and that helps them with their assessment of estimates, Mr Speaker. That's how budgets are done. I know it's been a long time since they've been in an expenditure review committee, Mr Speaker, and they don't have the skills or the experience to understand how budgets are put together. They didn't do a particularly good job of it when they were last in government, Mr Speaker. So it may be a mystery to them. Perhaps we should offer them courses in how budgets are put together. Perhaps that could be one of the many courses. There's a lot of training courses, Mr Speaker, that we're providing. Maybe we should introduce a training course to the Labor Party how to prepare a budget, Mr Speaker, how to engage in responsible expenditure to secure Australia's future. Perhaps we should put training programs for the Labor Party on how to develop economic policies, Mr Speaker, to support the Australian people. But I'll allow the Minister for Health to add further to the answer.
The Minister for Health. The Minister for Health.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. And to add to the Prime Minister's answer, the very simple response is yesterday 72,000 Australians were vaccinated. Today 76,000 Australians. In the last week we had 402,000, a record number. And what we're seeing is those numbers increasing. Over the course of the year, we expect to have 40 million Pfizer vaccines in Australia. All of these things are, of course, dependent, as Treasury notes, on the ability of these vaccines to arrive in the country. Our expectation is that those vaccines will be available, that supply will be available. We're seeing this week 1 million CSL vaccines being made available. Some have to be provisioned for contingency for second doses, but we are distributing approximately 900,000 doses this week. So what we are doing is ensuring that over the course of the year that we do have supply for all Australians to have the opportunity to be vaccinated. And what that does, though, is that gives us greater security, greater protection as a nation. The most fundamental of all assumptions within the budget with regards to COVID is that Australia continues to be safe. Of all of the elements, that is the one with the most significant importance. We are now, on the advice I have today, at 83 days with 0 cases of community transmission. And so that assumption looks as if it is going to be a very strong assumption. And what we see from that, what we see in relation to the capacity to supply enough vaccines for every Australian who chooses to, to have that opportunity over the course of the year, they remain strong and clear.